Most presentations are boring. They are filled with too much text. They often don't have a clear message and they take hours to put together. And worst of all, after all that effort, your audience zones out halfway through. We've all been there, copying and pasting from old slides, formatting for ages, struggling to make slides look professional, and ending up with something you know it doesn't do justice to your message. But what if you could create a powerful, engaging presentation using AI and design thinking in less than an hour? Welcome to day 23 of the 31-day AI challenge. Today we are going to learn how to put together a powerful presentation using AI. We will start with a design thinking canvas to clarify the message and get clear on what we want our audience to take with them. And then we will go into deep research, we will create the outline, and finally we will craft the deck. It will take less than an hour and the result will be amazing. Let's dive in.
I'm here in Miro and this is the presentation planning canvas that we are going to use. First of all, we will think of the title and purpose. Then we are going to think of the target audience, who is it for and who are we talking to. Then we will think of inspiration, maybe some talks that we have heard that we like. We will look at our core message. What is the big one idea or key message that we want our listeners to go home with? And then we will think of a structure for the presentation. And there are many frameworks for presentations, but I like this one, where you start with a hook, then you dive into the problem and amplify the problem, and then you find some kind of turning point, some big idea that changes your audience's point of view. And then finally you elaborate on the solution. And every presentation should have a big call to action, and we need to think about it. For the example, I'm going to use a presentation that I'm going to give in September in one event, and it's about human-centric transformations. And I want to start with the title, which will be Unlocking Change, the Power of Human-Centric Transformations. My audience will be leaders and decision makers in big corporations, transformation managers who are really struggling to drive change, and they are frustrated because they see resistance to change and they see the cost of not managing it well. I want to inspire myself in Simon Sinek, Daniel Kahneman, and Nancy Duarte. These are people who are really good with storytelling and presentation design, and I want to have them as my baseline. And my message is going to be that transformations succeed when they put people at the center. And that to drive digital transformations, we really need to start with people and we need to bring people on board. And then the story. And for the story, we are going to start with the hook that 70% of digital transformations fail. We are also going to give some data about the IT spending, and then we calculate the cost of failed transformations. And then we are going to look into the problem that's often digital transformations start with technology or processes and they put people at the end. And then we are going to look into our brain and how it has two systems, the gator and the judge, about the gator, which is reactive and fast, and it takes most of the decisions, and the judge, which is slow, it takes time to think, it analyzes the information, but it only comes into play when the gator allows for it. And change succeeds when we get the gator brain on board. That's the turning point. That we want to bring people's attention to the point that change succeeds when we get the gator brain on board. And then the solution. And since the gator brain drives decisions, we need to design transformations to appeal for people. So this is a bit the story. And finally, the call to action. Design transformations that put people first and make it a no-brainer for the raptor brain to jump in and follow. Work on your transformations to make it clear and build on trust. And we are going to take a screenshot of this board. And now in ChatGPT, we are going to ask, create a 12-slide presentation outline based on this canvas for a keynote. And I'm going to paste the screenshot. And I need to activate deep research. This is the result, and you can see that it has created an outline with 12 slides, the main message, the storytelling, and I always like a lot to use this process. I could use the agent functionality in ChatGPT and ask to create a 12-slide presentation PPT based on this outline using my brand guidelines. It is a presentation for a keynote, so please use a lot of visuals and not too much text. And this is the result. So I can open it full screen. And the good thing of this is that you can go ahead and then edit it. It doesn't look so great, but if you need to do it in PowerPoint, it might be a good start. At least you have the text. And now I'm going to show you how I do it. I will use this prompt. Create a 12-slide presentation titled Unlocking Change, the Power of Human-Centric Transformation, using my branding guide. Use the content and information in the image to craft the presentation. Create the slides using dark blue background with gradients and modern style. Make it interactive and impactful for a keynote presentation. Not too much text on the slides, enough to understand. Use this outline concept, and here I have pasted the outline that ChatGPT gave me. And I'm going to use the labs functionality here in Perplexity. And this is the result. You can see it looks very good. The format is different than what we had in ChatGPT. It's much better. I really like this one, and it has some animations also embedded, and I really like this type of presentations here. And I like a lot this workflow, starting with the research and then creating the presentation.
I hope you enjoyed day 23 and I will see you tomorrow in day 24. Hasta mañana.